I am Josh.
I am Banks. Odd places.
Going viral. Hey, we're getting this down. I'm impressed. It only took 295,000 episodes.
Yeah. So, Josh, what does "for crying out loud" mean?
For crying out loud, why would you ask such a question?
Because I have no idea what
Isn't that
that means.
obvious?
For crying out loud. For
Yeah.
crying.
For crying out loud.
What? Explain.
um, hmm. For crying out loud.
See?
So when people look, it's one of those idioms, right? It's an idiom, not an
Yep.
idiot, but it's an idiom that just we say as an interjection, which
Okay.
it means like what the heck, right? Something like that for crying out loud. Like it's like an exasperation phrase.
Okay. So you. Yeah. So my kid's 5. He keeps asking me the same question over and over, or lots of questions. And at some moment, I'm exasperated, and I turn to him and I say, "My mom." Wait, let's just make it my mom, because I really don't think I use this idiom that often. My mom would say to me quite often, "For crying out loud," all the time,
Yeah.
and I never knew it was for crying out loud. It was just that word that she threw out when she got exasperated. So it was exasperated words.
Yeah. I never really thought about the words though. This is very interesting. Like for crying out loud. Who's crying? Am I so if I say it, am I the one crying out loud?
I guess
Or
you
am I
are.
saying you're crying out loud if I say it to you?
For
Who's
crying.
crying?
I don't know. I have no idea who's crying.
Or maybe nobody's crying and that's
Maybe we're all just exasperated, right? For crying out loud. Okay. So I'm going to take it a different way. So in our political climate that we are in right now, would "for crying out loud" be apropos?
I don't think it's strong enough. I think there's a different phrase that probably kind of means the same thing, and it's abbreviated FFS. Do you know what phrase that is?
I do not know what that phrase is.
You
Um,
see it on social media a lot because you can't actually say one of the words without getting.
I'm sure. I'm sure. All right.
Can
So
you
so you're
guess?
saying
Can
you're
you guess what
saying
that means first? FFS. In the
um,
same vein of for crying out loud.
yeah, full. I
No,
don't
no.
know.
Same first word. Same first word. For.
For oh, I got it.
Got it?
Similar. Yeah, I guess that would be the same. I mean, very
It's
similar.
the modern version. Yeah.
For F sake,
Right.
um, and this one, "for crying out loud." Um, so what you're saying is that our language has evolved in this regard. Yeah.
Our language has evolved, but I'm saying FFS is a stronger version and it's more apropos to our current political climate than for crying out loud. For crying out loud is just, it's kind of such a weak, it's too weak.
It's
Like,
very 1960s, isn't it?
yeah, we're in 1960s suburbia and it's like
Yeah.
you spilled milk on the floor. And there's like, for crying out loud, which would be interesting because you cry over spilled milk. You're not supposed to, but then you're crying out loud. So for crying out loud, you just spilled the milk, you silly tutu brain. Like
Kid,
it's not
small.
strong.
Right, right. I see. So you, what you're saying is our language has evolved to be stronger or more impactful, fewer
No,
words. No,
no,
what?
no. I think you can still use for crying out loud today. I just don't think it's strong enough for what we're where we are. I think it just we had to create a new level. So I don't think it's changed. It's just we've added more levels
Okay, right.
because things have gotten that much more absurd.
So we have gotten to a point in our country where we're extremely polarized. Yes.
That's an
Have we?
understatement, but yes.
Okay. For crying out loud.
For
FFS.
F's sake, man. FFS.
So um, has there ever been a time in our country where we've been this polarized? Maybe Civil War?
Maybe. Yeah, that might be. And considering that we're talking about that again, or secession anyway, some states are already talking about that, which, by the way, I'm fine with. Like, I don't think I would even fight. Like, really, you want to leave? Here's a credit card. Bye bye. Out the door you go. I'm
There's
fine.
no, there's no credit card. No,
Well, you
no.
know what I mean. If we're breaking up, like, just go. Take a car and a credit card and bye bye.
Okay, okay, all right. Giving them the benefit of the doubt. Um, um, so the only other time that we can compare where we are now, because of being so polarized, is the Civil War, and that was basically over slavery, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That was
that was the
basically
pinnacle.
the states' rights to keep the institution of slavery alive. Yeah.
Okay, and that was the big conflict. So, what is the conflict, the pinnacle conflict that we have now that,
It's
that is causing us to
it's the same thing.
slavery?
Yeah. Not in the 1860s sense of slavery, but slavery's evolved, hasn't it?
You are talking about economic slavery, correct?
Yes. 100%. 100%. I'm talking pure capitalism, which is basically a form of slavery to uh, people that are trying to break free economically. They're trying to earn more money. They're trying to do the right thing, and we're suppressing that. There's a party, a particular party, a group that wants to suppress that.
Okay, so you personally, do you feel this way that you're being suppressed?
Not me personally, but I'm also on the right side of history as far as privilege. I'm a privileged person. I got the right skin color. I've got the right background, the right economic status. So no, not me personally.
Because
And by the way, I wouldn't have in the 1860s. I wouldn't have been a slave either. So I'm just not the right person. I'm not the right example. But the people in the 1860s that would have been slaves, they're the ones feeling the biggest economic slavery today.
so I'm in your boat too. I don't feel like I am I am being suppressed.
Right.
I feel that yeah, I'm not. However, the obvious white male that I have, that I was born with, I guess definitely. I don't. Well, I guess it definitely does give me some privilege. Okay, white and male. So you say slavery at both times, and
Yes.
it's economic slavery. However, is it found mainly in, I mean, because I mean, there is a racial reckoning happening right now in our country. And this has just happened I mean, it's been going on. However, it is exploded. It has become extremely big um, um, this year. And my point is, this racial reckoning, could that be also the economic slavery that you're talking about?
Yes. Yes. It's all part of it. It's all tied together. It still goes back to the basics, the skin color, nation of origin, things like that. Yes, 100%. Because we look, our current incarceration system, we're in a period of mass incarceration. In fact, right now, we have a lame duck president trying to execute as many people as possible on death row before he leaves office. Meanwhile, he's completely ignoring a virus that's killing a lot of innocent people that have not been convicted of crimes. So, anyways, yes, absolutely. This is about suppression of people based on
Based on
their
what?
economic status, based on their background. Yeah.
All right. So what's the solution?
The solution to a civil war?
No, the solution to us not being so polarized. And I mean that's where we started from.
Right. Well, what was the solution last time? So the problem was we had a set of states that wanted one set of rules, and we had another set of states that wanted a different set of rules, and they wanted to secede and do their own thing, and we wouldn't let them. The question is, this time they want us to secede again. Do we let them? If we don't let them, we have to stop them. We have to. There's got to be a way to stop the conflict. Hopefully, it's not physical war, but it might be economic. It might be political. Or you let them go, right? You let them form their own country.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Right?
I think succession, and I could be totally wrong. I think succession now, 2020, is the conversation about succession is, I don't see it valid.
I don't think it'll work. I think it's very challenging. I agree. I don't see it working. But what's the alternative? The alternative is they just have to accept defeat again, right? They have to accept that, look, this is the way things are going to be.
Right, right, right. I see your point. I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places going.
We're going this way?
I guess
Viral.
that way.
This way? I don't know
Yeah,
which way
that way. Yeah, that way.
I'm